Hello everyone. As we all know, humans are getting advanced time by time, and one of its examples are civilizations. Today I will talk about one of the most famous civilization, the Indus Valley Civilization. I, Lakshya Sharma of School St. Mark's Senior Secondary Public School Janakpuri will tell you everything about this civilization in detail. So let's start. Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harrapan Civilization, was a civilization in the Bronze Age, in the northwestern regions of South Asia. It lasted from 3300 BCE to 1300 BCE, and it progressed the most at the years of 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE. This civilization covered up the area of at least 1 million kilometer squares. The population of this civilization was 5 million, the most from the other civilizations. This civilization was situated near the Indus River and the Ghaggar-Hakra River. Ghaggar-Hakra River is almost dried up. Most of the settlements were near the Ghaggar-Hakra River. Now, let's talk about the differences between the Harappan civilization people and the After Kingdoms people. The people and the rulers of the kingdoms were only interested in conquering other kingdoms and doesn't even think about the welfare of the people. On the other hand, Harappan civilization people were interested in plumbing and drainage system and were in the welfare of people. We found no signs of temples or any rituals or any wars in this civilization. There was no fightings or conflicts in this civilization. If someone comes and invade on their civilization, they would instead trade. They were having a happy, comfortable and peaceful life. Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were the main cities in this civilization. There were many more, which are the Dholavira, Sutka-Gendor, Ghanvediwal and Rakhigarhi. Each city was under the control of a group of people, which we can say as a Harappan council or a Harappan federation. There were no rulers in this civilization. This civilization had a great city planning and a drainage system. So first, let's talk about the drainage system. This civilization had a very advanced drainage system. Each house had a room from where the water was sent in the drainage system like this. All these drains were under the main streets, which were connected to the houses. There were even stairs in the bathroom from where one person can put water on the other person as a shower. This civilization was the first civilization where people used toilets. The dirty water from toilets also went to the drainage system. This dirty water goes to the drainage system, which flows into the river or gets stored in the tank and then thrown together. This is how the water went from the pipes to the drainage system. Instead of the other kingdoms like Rome, where people were throwing dirty water on the streets. Harappan civilization kids were the first who played with toys, which were in different shapes such as ducks, dogs, and even miniature things such as pots, chairs, tables, etc. Let's talk about one of the most famous places in the civilization, the Great Bath. This is the only place which we can say was used for rituals. We don't know for which purpose it was used, but we do know that it was 2.4 meter deep, and the walls surrounding it were covered with tar, which shows that they had the advancement to create waterproof walls. There was a well near the bath from which the water goes into the bath, and after the usage it goes to the water. There were also small canals in the civilization where people can have boat rides or practice their boating skills. Now let's talk about standardization. Each city was very far from the other one, which has the distance of at least 100 and 200 kilometers. But the thing is, each city's seals were of same height and width, and even the bricks. This shows us how advanced they were. We even found wells which were very deep and were 4,000 years old. We even found different bricks which had different weight and were used in the buildings according to their size. Now let's talk about city planning. Each city has main streets which were cut at 90 degrees. These streets were further divided into small lanes which were connected to the houses, which were mostly in curved shapes. The cities were covered with thick walls from the sun. The civilization was divided into two places: the citadel, where they had important places such as the Great Bath and the granaries, and the lower town. The citadel were useful as it was higher at the sea level and they are used for floods. This is how the lower town and the citadel were divided in the city of Mohenjo-daro. It took 400 days for 10,000 workers to complete the citadel, which is very less. This shows how advanced they were. He even found very deep and big wells with drainage system in the civilization, which told us they were very advanced and were very urbanized. We even found seals from this civilization, which had a picture and something written, which we don't know what it means. There were different signs which people think is the Harappan language. No one knows the meaning yet, but we have found 450 symbols with pictures. Some people think that these seals were printed, which means they also have stamps. People of this civilization also had a passport-like thing, which had the name on it and with their occupation, age, etc. Mostly the people's occupation was farmers in the civilization. This civilization was very rich in spices, which contained turmeric, red chili, salt, coriander, etc. People here domesticated cow, goats, sheep, camels and even elephants. We even found small sculptures of dogs with collars. This means they had dog pets. We even found signs of cats and dogs roaming around in the civilization. If someone invades on their civilization, they would trade their spices and wheat. As most of the people were farmers, they tried to trade it to different countries. So they used their domesticated animals if they are going to the other city, or uses the ships from one country to another, just as a delivery. There was a land route and a water route from one civilization to another, like this. This is how the spices and other things were traded from the civilization to the other kingdoms. People were having a great time, but suddenly it got declined. Some people think due to the drying of the Ghaggar-Hakra river, the civilization suffered drought and they moved to other places. Some people also say that the invasion of my Aryans also killed them and ruled the place. But we still know how urbanized they were, and we are still trying to get their language. Thank you.